if I could just have your attention. I'm going to say that again. Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you all here today. I want to thank Undersecretary Edward Palleschi for being here, along with Mayor Brian Arrigo, as well as many Revere city and state elected officials. Cynthia and I are very honored to have you all here, and I'd like to introduce Mayor Brian Arrigo, who's going to say a few words.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the great city of Revere. Undersecretary Palleschi and your staff, I want to thank you for recognizing Claremont and for the opportunity to have you come through our city. Your visit means so much, not only to the city, not only to Claremont, but I know the entire small business community appreciates anytime the administration shows their appreciation for what's happening in Revere. So I want to give a special shout out to Executive Director Amanda Portillo, who's here from our Chamber of Commerce. And thank you for being here, Amanda. It's always a pleasure. So Claremont has been a true staple to our business district and for over 30 years providing incredible service to our community and to our residents and to so many folks. And we know, unfortunately, that insurance is really important when bad stuff happens. And so you've been there for our community when disaster strikes, and we so appreciate that from the city's perspective. And so we're honored to be here with you today and to celebrate this recognition. And I want to thank everyone who come out today, and it's really a testament to the great work that you've done on behalf of our residents and so many people in the city. So it's been an honor, and looking forward to hearing from the Undersecretary. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Arrigo. It is quite a pleasure to be here in Revere. Undersecretary Edward Palleschi.
Thank you. So, little housekeeping, and I'll get right to it, but I do want to just thank Cynthia Graff and Julie Bisconti for welcoming me here to Claremont, and of course thank the mayor for welcoming me to the great city of Revere. And we're really happy to have Rep. Jeff Turco, and I know I see former Mayor Dan Rizzo. It's good to see Dan, and Representative Jessica Giannino. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you guys. It's so great to be here again in the great city of Revere. I have some connection to the city that I was talking to the mayor about, and I did want to save it for my remarks. But I was coming in from Swampscott, where I live, so not too far away, and went by American Legion Highway. My great-grandfather came from a little village in Italy called Castel Barania, so I do want to say molto piacere to everybody, by the way, too. At the turn of the last century, and came to the city of Revere, which gave my family great opportunity, and built a small little house. I'm going to use my outdoor voice. I just realized, because I have, like my kids used to say, my outdoor voice. So built a small little house on American Legion Highway, right across from St. Anthony's Church, where my grandparents got married, and my grandmother was one of 7 children, and so I still have my 100-year-old aunt. The last surviving of those siblings is still living over on Pomona. So I didn't go visit her today. I got to go see her another day, because she called me last month and was giving me a hard time about an elevator at her church somewhere in Revere. And I God bless her, but she's still fighting. And again, so I have such great memories of coming to Revere as a child for my whole life with my family. And it is such a great city. I was talking to the mayor just a minute ago. Of course, when many of us grew up here, it was just, Italian American, the Jewish community, maybe some Irish, but it's just such a city with such a rich tradition of different types of people that's given so much opportunity to different types of people in this city. And of course, Claremont is a shining example of that. I know the company founded over 80 years ago in 1939 by Saverio Paventi.
That's it.
That's a mouthful. I love that. Relocated to Revere about 10 years ago, and I know really it's family owned and operated, but really run by you two women, which woman-owned business, which is fantastic. But it's just such a great thing to see the legacy of your grandfather live on in this great city and the work that you've done. Now, I do want to talk just a little bit, and I do a little more housekeeping, but I'm really grateful to Amanda Portillo, the Executive Director of the Revere Chamber, and of course, President Patrick Lospinato. Where's Patrick? I need to talk to him later. I think he's not here. I think I might have worked with his mom years ago at the Treasury. So I want to talk to you about that, Amanda. But I'm really grateful to Amanda for recommending Claremont to us. You know, when we were first introduced to Amanda, honestly, she mentioned you guys first and foremost. And of course, that speaks volumes of the kind of relationship you have with Amanda and the Chamber and here in the city. And so I just thought that was very interesting. You know, right away, she was talking about Claremont, and we, you know, had to reschedule this thing. We've been talking for quite some time. So it really is great to finally be here and meet you all and celebrate your terrific business. So I do want to just say a little something about the program, and then we'll get right to the presentation. So, you know, we were thinking a lot during the months of the pandemic, particularly about what we could do to help our small businesses, and particularly our licensees. You know, you're licensed by the Division of Insurance. My office, we oversee and support 5 regulatory agencies, including the Division of Insurance, where you have your license. And so we thought a lot about this during the pandemic months. A lot of your businesses here in the city were, of course, affected, had great challenge running their respective businesses through the pandemic. And we thought about, you know, what more can we do? You know, typically government at all levels, and, you know, Mayor Arrigo certainly knows this, and the representatives, you know, great partners in the legislature. You know, government's usually not doing stuff like this, you know, particularly regulators. When we're calling or when we're knocking on your door, it's usually about checking your licenses, checking your CEUs of your producers, and, you know, all those very important things that we do as regulators. But we thought a lot about that. What more can we do? We wanted to step outside of that usual role, and we wanted to recognize some of our licensees for the terrific work they do in the community, the terrific work they do for their clients, and the terrific work they do representing the city of Revere. And there's so many great and deserving businesses here in Revere and throughout the Commonwealth. But again, today we're here to celebrate you guys. So that really is kind of the genesis of that program. We wanted to do a little bit more than what we usually do as regulators, step outside of that usual role and say, you know, thank you. Thank you for doing all those great things. Thank you for being what we consider to be kind of a model licensee with the Division of Insurance and the Office of Consumer Affairs and Business Regulation. You know, ultimately we are a consumer protection agency, and so, you know, we're keeping an eye out for consumers every day, and which are, you know, your customers, and you know, you do such great work with that. And again, I love the fact, as a father of a daughter and now a granddaughter, to have a woman-owned business. It's just fantastic. You guys have worked really hard, obviously, to keep the next generation going. So I congratulate you for that. So without any further ado, I'd like to formally present the certificate of appreciation, and then we can take some pictures, if you like, with your team and some of our elected officials, and I'll stay as long as we can, but this is just fantastic. So without further ado, I would like to present the certificate of appreciation. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts Office of Consumer Affairs and Business Regulation presents this to Claremont Insurance Agency Incorporated. With great appreciation, the office recognizes your contribution to the community and to the consumers of the Commonwealth. You are a shining example of the gold standard we aim for with all of our licensees, and thank you for your dedication to excellence.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And then we can take some
Yes,
pictures
yes,
after,
yeah. Love that. Great, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank you all again for being here. I think that first we should have Amanda come up, because without her and her awesome recommendation, we wouldn't be here. So we appreciate you, Amanda. Please come and say a few words.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Amanda Portillo. I'm the Executive Director of the Revere Chamber of Commerce. For those that don't know me, when I was originally contacted by Mr. Palleschi regarding who would be a great candidate for this type of recognition, as he mentioned, I instantly thought of Julia and Cynthia of Claremont Insurance. I've gotten to know both of you over the past year since assuming my position as neighbors as well as chamber members. In all of my encounters with both women, they've been very enthusiastic about doing business here in Revere, as well as what's happening here in the city and what's to come. They're incredibly service-driven, dedicated to offering quality and affordable insurance products, and ensure that their clients know that they are always available to assist, even during COVID. One thing that I've learned in the pursuit of success as an entrepreneur, especially a female entrepreneur, is that relationships matter, a support system matters, community matters, and women supporting women matters. As a fellow woman in business, I am inspired by you both and your long-standing devotion to the city of Revere. We are grateful to have you both in the city, and I congratulate you both on this well-deserved recognition today.
Thank you. Thank you. You're very welcome.
Thank you all again for coming. And as Undersecretary Palleschi said, Claremont Insurance was started by our grandfather, Saverio Paventi, who at 19 came to this country with dreams of starting his own business. He planted the seed, and with his daughter, Cynthia, along with her husband, Alphonse, my dad and mom, they cultivated and secured our future in this business. Cynthia and I are proud to have had a wonderful example of what a female leader looks like. Our mom empowered us to take control and continue on in our own way. We are committed to continuing the legacy our grandfather has bestowed upon us. We are very proud to be the third generation to steer the ship here at Claremont. Our hope is that when we hand off to the fourth generation, my sons, Zachary and Nicholas, as well as Cynthia's daughter, Lauren, who will be that female presence to keep you boys in line, the insurance needs of the folks in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts will be taken care of for many generations. Thank you all so very much. Does that conclude?